and welcome to the latest episode of the Racing Podblast with me, Tony Mack, and Ben Aiken from Narrow in the Field. And following on from last week's 10-1 winner with Kind of Blue in the British Champions Sprint Stakes, and Ben looked like it was going to... we're running a massive race. Royal Rhyme put up at 50-1 last week, eventually finishing third. What a brilliant shout-out that was last week. But we're mixing codes this week on the pod with two races from the Saturday card at Cheltenham and one big field handicap set to be run on the flat at Donny. Probably last meeting the season before taking our usual spin up to Scotland for our, I don't do Scottish accents, and for our football trixie battle, top, middle and bottom. Racing first though, and we start at Cheltenham with the Class 2 Willie Hill handicap chase. The first of our three races under analysis this week. Welcome along, Ben. Unlucky with Royal Rhyme, mate. Blimey. And can you start us off with the 220?
Yeah, I thought he was going to do it, Tony. I thought he was going to do it, but good run. Good run.
Oh, fantastic.
Happy with that. Thought well done on the sprint winner as well.
Good one.
Job done. It was a hard week last week, I thought, but no, we did all right.
It
Happy
was.
Enough. But yeah, this week, one of the jumps, Willie Hill. That's what it's called, isn't it? Willie Hill. That's what it's called in my house. So,
well, that's how we used. I think some people used to call it up in Durham when I started, but Billy Hills. They called it up there. But don't get into this nickname thing. You'd be calling that big meeting in March the Fez.
The Fez.
Oh,
yeah, that's hard, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, let's get on. 220.
Moving on.
Willie Hill handicap chase, competitive renewal with his Class 2 handicap. Numbers held up quite well. Final decks narrowed the field down to a short list of 4. Chasing Fire, Does He Know, Broadway Boy and Some Scope. Chasing Fire, he rounded his novice chase season off with a solid win at Perth in April. That was his first stab at 3 miles. Looked like he stayed the trip well enough. Should have more to offer over staying trips this season. Only had the 4 previous handicap chase runs, so he starts the season off with a relatively unexposed profile to build on as well. Chasing Fire, he's a horse that's best off breaks of 40 days or more, where he is 6 wins and a close second from 8 starts, so should be ready to fire on seasonal debut here. I think he looks to hold a solid chance. Chasing Fire. Does He Know? He brings some strong Cheltenham form to the table. He's 4 wins and a second from 7 previous starts at the track. 3 of those over course and distance, where he has a first and a second to his name. Does He Know also goes particularly well in the October to November period. During those months, he is 6 wins and 3 seconds from 10 starts. At Cheltenham in October and November, he's 4 wins and a second from 5 starts. And he's also 3 wins and a place off breaks of more than 90 days. So he does go well first run back off a break. He's also back down to his highest winning handicap mark. So he's on a mark we know he's capable winning off. And he's running off a wind up. Kim Bailey's geldings in handicap chases off breaks of more than 120 days. And on first run, after a wind up, they are 12 wins and 7 places from 32 qualifiers, 38% win strike rate, 59% win and place strike rate, over 36 points profit. So fair few positives for the top weight. Does He Know? A Broadway Boy, he started his chase career in fine form last season. First, second, first and first on his first 4 starts, but he fizzled out a bit and graded company on his next 2 starts. In between the 2 runs, he missed his intended target at the Cheltenham Festival due to an unsatisfactory scope. They'll be looking to get his chase career back on track here, and Twiston Davies does hold some solid stats with similar types in Cheltenham handicap chases. If you look at Twiston Davies, 10-year-old and younger, GB and Irish bred handicap chasers at Cheltenham in the October-January period, And with those that had previously won over the Cheltenham fences, you get figures of 9 wins and 6 places from 28 qualifiers, 32% win strike rate, 54% win in place, and over 67 points profit. Broadway Boy meets those stats here. I think his defeat of 3 under through 5 in Protectorate at the December Cheltenham meeting last year would suggest his mark of 149 is within range for him. And some scope, he's the last on my shortlist. He finished his novice chase season off with a 4th over 3 mile 2 at the Cheltenham April meeting, a race that's worked out well enough so far on the future form front. That was only his 5th chase start, so he's another of those that lines up with an unexposed profile to their name. And he looks to have conditions in his favour here. A left-handed track over 3 mile to 3 mile 1, good or good to soft, and Gavin Sheehan riding, where he is unbeaten, 3 from 3. So some scope is firmly on my radar here. And the 2 I am edging towards from that shortlist are some scope, who should still have more to offer from his current mark. And does he know who is on a winnable mark and seems to love Cheltenham in October and November? So some scope, and does he know for me, Tony? What you got?
Yeah, I've got a couple of interesting ones. Kinondo Kwetu finally got going in the summer after possibly a hard season. I think he can build on a decent effort at Perth last month when 2nd of 5 on good ground. I like Captain Morgs, something clearly amiss in a couple of spins around the turn of the year. Returns here following a wind up and could be a little bit overpriced. But the 3 I'm taking an interest in, 2 at an each way. Chasing Fire at around 12 to 1. Seen these colours go well round Presby Park on many, many occasions, Chasing Fire. And I think he can hit the frame on return to action for the in-form trainer and jockey combination of Sean Bowen and Ollie Murphy. He can build on his win at Perth, beating 5 rivals by 3 lengths, as the 15 to 8 favourite should do. Chasing Fire looks a bit big at 12 to 1. Unanswered Prayers for Chris Gordon and Rex Dingle. He does like to target this meeting, does Chris Gordon. He's not disgraced in Grade 3 handicap chase at Kempton in February. Last seen at Kempton in May. And as I said, the trainer does like to target this meeting. So he was last seen in May, finishing 2nd of 8, beaten 1 3/4 lengths by Carl Philippe over 3 miles on good ground back in May at Kempton. But Unanswered Prayers bid at 16 to 1. But I do like the favourite, and obviously it's well known that Nigel Twiston Davis does target the first 2 meetings at Cheltenham. He hasn't been as successful as he used to be in the last couple of years, but poor form this calendar year from Broadway Boy, but goes well fresh and was a course and distance winner in 2023. And he likes to race prominently as well, which should be an advantage here in the early part of the season at Cheltenham. So Broadway Boy for me as a single, and possibly some small each ways on Chasing Fire at 12 to 1 and Unanswered Prayers at 16 to 1. On to the 255 at Cheltenham. The Pertemps handicap hurdle, Class 2 handicap hurdle over 3 miles. The Pertemps. Are we watching who finishes 4th, 5th and 6th?
I think they've changed it this year.
Oh, yeah, it does, hasn't it? Yeah.
It's top 4. I've lost track.
The top 4 now.
I don't know.
So you have to finish 4th now.
Yeah. As you qualify for the final at the Fez at Cheltenham in March. Often tricky races to get stuck into, but I eventually narrowed things down to Beacon Edge, Zane Knights, Alga Sparrow and Edem. Beacon Edge, always a horse of interest in October. It's a month where he's always run well. He's got 5 wins and a second from 6 previous October starts. It comes into this off the back of a solid 4th in a listed handicap at the Galway Festival in August. A race that's been working out well since. The 1st, 3rd, 5th and 6th have all won since, and between them, the first 6 home of future form of 4 wins and 3 places from 9 starts. Beacon Edge, he's actually shown fine form on all of his last 4 starts. And he looks a little overpriced at double figures for this. Zane Knights, he comes here a horse very much in the up. He's won his last 3 starts and 4 of his last 5. His trainer, Lucy Wadham, doesn't have all that many Cheltenham winners. She saddled 8 winners from her 93 runners since 2003. But interestingly, all 8 of those Cheltenham winners fit the same profile as Zane Knights. At 5 to 7-year-olds in Class 1 or 2 hurdle races worth 35 grand or less to the winner, and over trips further than 2 mile 4, where Lucy Wadham's runners are 8 winners and 1 placed from 19 runners. So 100% of her Cheltenham winners from only 20% of her runners. Zane Knights is one of those winners in that 8 winners. He won at the April meeting last season, and he again meets those stats here. Al Gasparo, he qualifies in a Gavin Cromwell angle I've plugged in. Cromwell, last time at winners, running it in a UK race, age 6 or less, 1 to 7 starts in the current season, and same down 1 level or up no more than 2 class levels from their last start. Cromwell is 17 winners and 5 placed from 31 qualifiers with those types, almost 100 points profit as well. Al Gasparo qualifies on that angle. And Edem, he's the other on my short list. He's still relatively unexposed in handicap hurdles. There's only his 6th handicap start. He has fitness on his side because he ran second at Perth 30 days ago. It was travelling smoothly that day before making a bit of a mess of 2 out. Still a decent and sound sort of seasonal debut run from him, though. And he might just prefer coming back left-handed here. And a decent ground will also suit because he's 3 wins and 3 places from 6 starts on good to soft and quicker. And he also handles biggish fields well. He's 2 wins and a second from 3 starts in fields of 14 or more. There's only 30 runners here, but it's a big. He handles rough and tumble sort of big fields well. So positives for Edem here, and I'm coming down on the side of Edem and Zane Knights. I'm sort of edging towards that too from my shortlist. So Zane Knights and Edem for me. Tony, what you got?
Yeah, difference of opinion here, Ben. We've got the Wall Park at 5 to 1, progressive 6-year-old. That age group have 3 wins and 8 hitting the frame in the last 8 renewals from 32 going to post. Obviously trained by Gordon Elliott, ridden by Jordan Gainford, last seen at Galway. Actually ran at the Galway Festival, winning the handicap hurdle, the Boyle Sports handicap hurdle, its listed race, beating 17 rivals by half a length, and then went on to win a egg and spoon race, really, back in September, winning as the 5 to 6 favourite, 4 lengths, winning by 4 lengths there. Looks like this may have been a target for Gordon Elliott, so I do like Wall Park as a single, and Gowell Road for the Twist and Davis team, Sam and Nigel. Last seen at Cheltenham at the festival in the Pertemps Network final itself, finishing 6th of 22, beaten 8 1/4 lengths by, of course, Monmoral. And at 16 to 1 he was that day, and he's 8 to 1 tomorrow for early season punters as well. He did win at Ascot about 12 months ago in a novices limited handicap chase, beating 3 rivals 18 lengths that day, so he goes well fresh. So I do like Gowell Road at an each way price at around 8 to 1, and I'm going to one of my favourite syndicates around. Oh, actually, wrong horse that. Cruise Control for trainer Tom Lacey and Stan Shepherd at around 25 to 1. Thought good enough to go to the Punchestown Festival earlier this year. Didn't really cover himself in glory, but he did finish 13.5 lengths, but he did finish 4th of 12 behind Manila Crooner for around 5 to 1. 4th of 12, hampered by a loose horse as well on that day, and may well have, I don't think it would have troubled the winner Manila Crooner that day, but he may have finished better than 4th. Cruise Control for Tom Lacey and Stan Shepherd, and he's around 25 to 1 tomorrow. I'm with you with Gavin Cromwell, by the way. Al Gasparo having to keep a strong eye, including on Friday as well, on the Gavin Cromwell. He brought over 5 horses last year, Ben, you'll know this. He brought over 5 horses last year for this meeting, 3 won and 2 placed. 100% win and place strike rate from 5 runners at this this meeting 12 months ago. So you need to be keeping an eye on Gavin Cromwell horses tomorrow. Of course, he's got Danny Mullins in the saddle as well. So that one there, yeah, I do like the Wall Park as a single, Cruise Control and Gower Road each way there in that 255. Over to Donny, 3:15 at Doncaster. Willie Hill, proper betting handicap, Class 2 over 1 mile 2 furlongs. What you got for this one, Ben?
Yeah, 3 in this one, Tony, that catch my eye. Mustazid, the Reverend, and Laffy. Mustazid comes here off the back of a comfortable win at Newbury last month over 1 mile 2. Form is boosted by the second horse winning a Class 2 at York next time out. All Mustazid's wins have come in turf handicaps over 1 mile 2 on left-handed tracks. He's 5 wins and 4 places from 12 starts under those conditions. Conditions he obviously gets here. He also goes well at Doncaster with a win and 2 seconds to his name at the track, all over today's trip of 1 mile 2. He's on a career high mark just now, so excuse me, that's the obvious concern. But he has fired in 2 career best efforts on his last 2 starts. So not possible that Harry Eustace is still getting improvement from him. So Mustazid, in my thoughts here. The Reverend is one of the least exposed in the field after only 5 previous starts. And it's interesting they drop him back 4 furlongs in trip here after his probably non-staying 4th of 7 over 1 mile 6 at York last time out. Also interesting that Ryan Moore gets a leg up for the first time. He has some solid stats for Willie Haggis in handicaps over 1 mile 2 or shorter in the October to November period. 9 winners and 4 placed from just the 17 runners. 53% win strike rate, 76 win and place strike rate, and over 34 points profit. The Reverend was a winner over 1 mile 4 at Ascot 2 starts back, and those stamina reserves could come in handy in what will be testing enough conditions at Doncaster. So that's the Reverend. And the other Willie Haggis runner, Laffy, he's the other that makes my shortlist. He's been off the pace since winning at Newmarket last November. He's maybe just been a little high in handicap since then, and he's able to run here off a £2 lower mark than that Newmarket victory last season. Both his previous wins have come on soft or heavy ground over 1 mile 2 or shorter in the October to November period. He's 2 from 2 under those conditions he meets with here, and they also stick first-time blinkers on for this run to try and spark a bit of life back into him. And it would be those 2 Willie Haggis runners that are the 2 I want on my side in this handicap, the Reverend and Laffy. The Reverend bringing the unexposed profile to the table, and Laffy, a bit of a handicap sleeper with conditions in his favour. So the Reverend and Laffy for me, Tony. What you got?
Yeah, I've got the Reverend, mate. Ryan Moore rides for Willie Maggis. I think that's interesting. He's been solid and consistent all season, starting in July at Thirst, couple of near misses, and a win at Ascot last month off a £9 low mark, and you said the rest, and I think he's a cracking each way, bet it's 6-1 at the minute, the Reverend. I'm with you on that one. And 2 at bigger prices, Primo Lara, distance winner on Good to Soft at York in May off a £9 low mark. That's the last time anyone spotted the 3-year-old on a race course. Primo Lara can get a good sit with plenty of cover in midfield before making a move under jockey Johnny Pete, who rides for Jane Chapel-Hyam. And Tawada, who's around 11-1. Ed Walker and Safi Osborne had a great season together. Last seen on Good to Soft at Yarmouth in August, finishing second of 8, beating a neck behind Endless Victory. And I think Tawada can go well at around 11-1. Primo Lara at 10-1. And for single or each way, the Reverend, I'm with you on that one, Ben, at 6-1. And that rounds off look at our 3 races for Saturday on the Racing Podblast. 3:15 at Doncaster, the Willie Hill proper betting handicap. Right now, time for top, middle and bottom.
Oh, golly, what a volley! The great thing about loving football is you cannot explain why you love it. It just happens. Chasing a ball round a park, wanting one team to win against the other.
You know, Mahoney, right foot, whips it. Oh, jeez, he peeps, man.
Yeah, top, middle and bottom, here we go. Another loss for me last week, mounting up the debt. Over to you, Ben. Top, middle and bottom, latest scores on the doors.
Yeah, no winners for me last week. One for you last week, but -4 for us both. Current totals, me plus 11.49. Tony, cover your ears, -30.77.
Morning.
But as we know, it just takes one and you'll be back in profit. On to this week, as well as the league action, there's second round of the Scottish Cup, and our pick from the bottom section this week comes from the Scottish Cup. My top, middle and bottom is top Ayr to beat Airdrie at 3-4. Ayr have leveled out a bit since a good start to the campaign. Lost the last two. They've been against Livingston and Falkirk, though. Airdrie should be an easier task for them. Ayr have won the last 7 meetings between the teams. Airdrie are in a bit of a funk right now. They've only won the last 10. They've lost 7 of them. So Ayr to get back to winning ways here. Middle, Queen of the South to beat Annan at 15-8. Queen of the South have dropped the ball a little in the last 2 games, but they'll view this as a winnable match to get back on track. They've beaten Annan in 10 of their last 12 meetings, so Queen of the South for me in the middle section. And bottom, Clyde to beat Elgin City at 31-20. I'm taking my first top, middle and bottom swing at Clyde.
Wow.
And my second play in a row against Elgin.
Wow.
Clyde have finally gotten around to getting a new manager on board. Darren Young, he got the job this week. An excellent appointment. He'll be looking to get things firing straight off the bat. Elgin, bouncing form right now, but I'm hoping they're fixed on the league run. Maybe just won't be focusing on the cup. So my first swing at Darren Young's Clyde in the bottom section. Go on yourself, Martin Rennie. Go on, boy.
I've no idea who this bloke laughing is. I've just found a laughing... Sorry, Ben. I think he's laughing at mine -30.77, to be honest with you, mate. But
I'm telling you, this will be the turnaround for Clyde. I'm telling you.
All these weeks I'm telling you to keep the faith. You kept away from them. They sacked the manager and you're back with them.
I'm back on them.
Darren
Young's Clyde. Let's go. So top Ayr, middle Queen of the South, bottom Clyde. Tony, what you got?
I'm same as you. Ayr to beat Airdrie at 3-4. Queen of the South away at Annan at 15-8. And I've got East Kilbride, who score goals for an absolute fun at home to Bonnyrigg Rovers. 13-12. 13-12. Worst 13-20. Worst 17-20 earlier in the week have been hammered. 13-20 now. East Kilbride at home to Bonnyrigg Rose on Saturday.
The East Kilbride Mafia are sticking there.
East Kilbride, honestly, listeners, have a look at how many goals they score. Absolutely for fun. Just for fun. Brilliant stuff. All right, thanks for joining us on the Podblast this week. Racing, very best of the Racing Podblast. Very best luck with your bets at Cheltenham and Doncaster this week. And catch more from Ben over on narrowinthefield.co.uk. Thanks very much, Ben. Have a great week.
Cheers, Tony.
Cheers. Have a good week, everyone. Have a great weekend.